The cleanup continues tonight following last night's October storm that left behind some major damage here in southern New England. Thousands of people are still without power across the state after trees took down power lines, narrowly missing homes in some cases. Many people being told tonight it could take days for power to be fully restored. In Scituate, the town's senior center on Chapman's Hill Road will be open from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock tonight for coffee and for anyone who needs to charge those electronics.
In Warwick, officials say 8 schools remain without power right now, and the decision will be made whether to cancel school tomorrow over the next several hours.
A similar situation in Seekonk, where last night's heavy winds brought down this tree. You can see its roots right up here in the air.
We have live Pinpoint weather team coverage of this storm and its aftermath. Eyewitness News reporter Eric Halperin is live in the East Bay with a look at the current conditions.
And now that the storm has moved out, Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca has the latest on just how long the dry weather sticks around.
But first, we go live to Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen, who's in one of the hardest hit areas, the West Bay. Steve, what's it like out there tonight?
Well, you can see me here in West Warwick. This tree behind me collapsed on top of a house. The homeowner doesn't want to move it yet because he's afraid if he does, the porch will collapse. But this scene is not unique. It's playing out across streets in the West Bay. As sheets of rain fell, powerful gusts ripped signs from buildings. Metal structures slid down streets and snapped massive trees in two.
Major power outages, lots of trees down.
As the sun rose, the damage came into full view.
A big bang. I just heard a huge boom on the ground. Then I heard a big boom and then saw sparks through my windows.
This massive tree on Yale Road in Coventry split 4 ways. This one taking out a car, that one taking out a car, this one landing on a roof, and that one taking out power lines.
This one tree affected 4 families.
Very dangerous. I thought the tree was going to snap and the lines were going to fling up and break, so pretty
frightening night.
Yeah, definitely.
The impact so widespread, even the governor had trouble getting in contact with her mother.
I couldn't reach her. The phone didn't ring, so my sister lives right down the road. My sister went to check in on her. She was fine, but the power was out.
Cars were no match for this storm.
Ended up smashing all the windows out. Put a lot of pressure on it.
Some saying it was like Superstorm Sandy.
It's deja vu.
Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll bring you the story of this West Warwick homeowner. He invited me inside his house. I'll show you what it looks like and what he's been having to deal with since this storm last night. I'll see you at 6. I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steve. The cleanup also continues in the East Bay tonight. This large tree right here you're looking at caused Route 114 in Bristol to be shut down today and schools to be canceled. And this scene, similar to many in that area, as crews work to remove trees from houses and wires from roads. Eyewitness News reporter Eric Halperin joins us now live from Barrington with the latest conditions there. Eric?
Mike, earlier today, this neighborhood off New Meadow Road, there were trees all over the place, all over houses, all over the road. Now those trees look like this, all chopped up and pushed over the road, but the damage from this storm is still very much visible. If we walk over here a little bit, you can see this fence still pushed in over here, and at parts, it's still collapsed from that storm before, but for this family here, the fence is the least of its problems. We first showed you this tree that had crashed onto Jack Walter's Barrington home on Eyewitness News at noon. He says the tree came falling in sometime around midnight.
Water pouring into the house through the holes in the ceiling.
The tree went through the roof at least 2 points, one being his son's bedroom.
My son's bedroom was littered with glass.
Walter says a temporary fix is being put on the holes tonight. Just around the block is another home dealing with the aftermath of a tree breaking through the roof. It's since been removed, but not before leaving a gaping hole in Jenny Fitzpatrick's son's bedroom.
It's the scariest thing is hearing the crash and knowing your kids are upstairs.
Her daughter was asleep in a nearby room. Debris is now all over the floor in her son's room. Tree branches came through just feet from his bed. Luckily, he's out of town.
I sent him pictures and all he keeps saying is wow.
And while the trees are now gone, the damage and sounds they made will not be forgotten.
Some people have described it as a bomb, but I mean, it was loud when it hit the house.
And Walter says after the tree came through last night, his family stayed in the hotel and that they will likely do the same tonight. Coming up new at 6, we show you some other problems that the East Bay is dealing with, like some traffic lights without power. Live in Barrington, I'm Eric Halperin, Eyewitness News.
Our coverage of the cleanup from the October storm continues. No part of southern New England was spared from last night's storm. We're going to show you some video from East Providence, where crews were busy early this morning chopping up and removing down trees from the roads.
And here in Warwick, the winds knocking this sign completely off the front of a convenience store. One of the hardest hit areas was southeastern Massachusetts. Eyewitness News reporter Shiina LoSciuto has been monitoring the conditions across the state and has more.
I've been talking with neighbors who say crews have been working and monitoring this situation since about 6 o'clock this morning. Now, I've been asked to stay on this side for safety, but I'm told that there are 3 trees down in total. Benjamin Costa of Westport was about to go to bed when he heard the forces of Sunday night's strong winds.
Like maybe a branch was falling. That was pretty much it. No loud boom after that.
He says that noise was nothing compared to what he saw.
My dad woke me up and told me, no, you gotta come see this.
Crews are working on cleaning up the intersection of Morning Dove Drive and Charlotte White Road in Westport, right in front of his family's home.
The trees right here, these 2 trees behind me, fell and took out the power lines. And then on a separate occasion, a tree in my neighbor's yard had also fallen, and that took out his power lines.
A sight to see for the neighborhood, many blocked from driving out until it's safe to do so.
We have one company here that's trying to do the best they can to clean up so the other company can come in. Other than that, we're just waiting here.
The family tells me they've lived in the area for about 20 years now, but they've never seen anything quite like this. In Westport, I'm Shiina LoSciuto, Eyewitness News.
First at 6, we have team coverage of the impact from the late October storm.
It moved through in just a few hours, but its impact will be felt for days. Toppled trees are scattered everywhere across southern New England, including here in Barrington. Some are on houses, others on power lines, and some even crushing cars.
Skydrone 12 captured an aerial view of a tree on top of a home in Foster. You can see it right here. National Grid says well over 100,000 customers in Rhode Island still don't have power tonight, and they're warning it could take several days for many to get their power back.
And that's really throwing everything from school to trick-or-treating in doubt for tomorrow. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian is standing by with a live interview with National Grid spokesperson Eric Halperin's in the East Bay with reports on damage there. And Chief Meteorologist Tony Petracca will tell us what's going to happen next.
Well, we begin with Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen, who joins us live in West Warwick. Steve.
Well, guys, I've driven around the West Bay today and seen a lot of trees toppled over near houses, on top of cars. But the cleanup hasn't begun yet here at this home in West Warwick. That's because the man who lives here doesn't want to start cleaning it up yet because he's afraid if he does, the problem could only get worse.
What's this?
Roger Johnson woke up to water pouring into his house from his ceiling Monday morning.
And I'd be like, what is this? I still don't even realize that the tree was down until I look outside, and I'd be like, oh my God.
A neighbor's tree collapsed on his home. He called his friend Angie to ask for help.
Holy crap, he's got a tree in his front yard.
She said she warned about that tree next door for months.
I dreamed about it last night. I was saying, you know what, that tree's gonna fall on his house, and what do you know? The tree falls on the house.
A big tree on top of my house.
His truck was destroyed.
Like the shocks are probably be damaged, the struts are gonna be replaced, the bed needs to be completely taken off. It sounded like there was a tornado ripping through.
Back inside, Roger wondered how long it would take to fix everything.
Feel how squishy the floor is, because I mean, you can hear it.
So wet.
But he won't even touch the outside until insurance inspectors take a look. He's afraid it'll collapse if the tree's moved.
And it could have killed me also too. Who knows?
And the insurance company should be here tomorrow. That's when he'll be able to start cleaning up and assessing everything. Until then, Angie's letting him borrow her car. That's because obviously his truck's crushed. His second car is stuck in the garage. I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Steve. National Grid says they are dealing with so many outages tonight, they may not be able to estimate when power will be back in some areas until tomorrow.
An Eyewitness News viewer sent us photos through reported of trees down on wires on Scenic View Drive. She tells us they were told it would be at least 3 days before this damage gets cleaned up.
Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us live from National Grid headquarters in Providence. Kim.
Well, Mike and Caroline, I'm joined here by National Grid spokesman Ted Cressy. Ted, thanks for joining us tonight. A lot of folks still without power at this hour. Can you give us an update on how many folks are still without power and what's being done to restore it right now?
So this was obviously a major storm to hit the Northeast. You know, a lot of states, a lot of people impacted. Right now in Rhode Island, there's about 138,000. We've been, going at it strong throughout the night and into the day, trying to restore folks. Our big priorities today are public safety. So, making sure that our critical customers get the power back up as soon as possible. That includes hospitals, nursing homes, and then obviously a lot of wires down. So we're working with the fire and police departments in the municipalities and trying to ensure that the public safety is taken care of.
Folks who might be watching this maybe on their tablets, laptops, wireless devices, who maybe found a place to charge up and are watching us now, are wondering when are they going to have their power back on? What's the timeline?
It's tough to give a timeline right now. I think we'll know a lot more in the next 12 to 14 hours, and hopefully during that time period we'll see these numbers come down quite a bit. But it is a multi-day restoration project, and so there are going to be some folks that are out for a few days here, and we just ask that they have patience. We're doing everything possible to get their power back up and running, but it is a multi-day restoration process. It is going to take some time.
So patience is key as these crews work to restore power. What did you guys do to prepare for this? Were extra crews brought in, and will more crews be brought in at this point?
Absolutely, yeah. When we heard about the storm coming, we brought in an additional 17 overhead line crews. We're bringing more in every day. Starting tomorrow, there will be a lot more crews out here from different states, and so we're on top of it. We're getting the assistance we need. It did hit the Northeast, so there's some challenges in that we have neighboring states also requiring assistance, but we're going to do everything possible to get folks' power back up as quickly as possible.
All right, National Grid spokesman Ted Cressy, thank you so much, Ted, for all of that information. Again, this is a multi-day process. Some folks will be without power for the next couple of days. For more information on power outages, you can head to our website, WPRI.com. For now, reporting live in Providence, I'm Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kim. The East Bay Mobile Newsroom moving to Bristol now. Tonight, the town administrator says more than 80% of Bristol lost power, and it could be several days before some areas get that electricity back.
The town administrator says several feeder lines to the town were cut. He says the community center on Asylum Road will stay open and staffed until power is restored.
Eyewitness News reporter Eric Halperin has been surveying the damage and talking to people in the East Bay. He joins us now live from Barrington, also hard hit by the storm. Eric?
Caroline, several roads in this Barrington neighborhood were impassable earlier today. Trees blocking the roads, trees on top of power lines. Now those trees look like this, chopped up into piles and pushed off to the side of the road. One across the road here still sitting in that person's front yard, and these are just some of the problems that the East Bay is dealing with thanks to this storm. Tree after tree down in this Barrington neighborhood off New Meadow Road. Some on top of power lines blocking roads, others on top of houses.
To me, it sounded like a snap, but I mean a loud snap.
Down in Bristol, police had to direct traffic at the busy intersection of 114 and Gooding Ave because the traffic lights were out. It's an issue we saw at several spots around the East Bay. At Seabra Foods, by that same intersection, wind knocked over the grocery cart stand, and inside the store, signs posted, closed. Due to a power outage, we are temporarily closed.
It's a lot of work on our hands. We've been trying to clean up everything that we possibly can right now without the power.
Heidi Olson has worked at the store for 20 years. She says they dealt with similar issues after Superstorm Sandy, being forced to get rid of refrigerators full of food.
Everything that's perishable.
They were able to move some food to other stores, but the rest will have to be restocked when power is back.
Everything in the meat case, the dairy case, it's just a loss.
And employees at that store tell me that they might get power back tonight, and if they do, that they'll reopen tomorrow morning. We've just learned that the superintendent here in Barrington sent parents an email tonight saying that 4 schools are still without power, but he has not made a decision on whether or not there will be school tomorrow. He'll send updates to them as soon as he gets them. Reporting live in Barrington tonight, I'm Eric Halperin, Eyewitness News.